Good afternoon. My name is Cesar Castro Martinez, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about the questions that our teacher of human rights left us about this work about the second partial. To begin, this is a subject about human rights, and I'm gonna answer 5 questions that are supposed to be answered. So, to begin, the first question that we have is which are my perspective on protecting human rights until now and how was on the beginning of the subject. Well, in this aspect, I think that we have seen the good side, the bad side, some institutions, some examples, and also trying to be so assertive in this way, like always be the good side of our country, but we have to be serious and also honest that say that our country is not like it's supposed to be, or we can see in some TV shows or in some videos. No, this is not the way. So in general, I have seen that. That's my per- perspective about the beginning until now. But also I have learned that in our country this is not always fulfilled. There are many rights, many institutions that are in charge of that and don't respect that. Also, that some examples are like kind of amazing because of his bad aspect situation and how our country have crazy people in which they make like these actions, and you can imagine how this happened. So that's my perspective compared to the beginning of the subject. So to move into the second question is about how in our countries I consider that the rights and the entire population are protected. In my opinion, there are always points that make us go back in that aspect. If this is like respected or safeguard in our country, I think that no. There are always like corruption in this, and also discrimination, violation. There are no values in our country, and that's our reality of here or Mexico. And also, we are supposed to protect us, but in most of the cases, this not happen. Maybe because some organizations, I'm gonna talk about this in the next question, like Senate abuse of their power, or they have troubles with some famous persons and don't want to be in trouble with them about because of his dignity or power in their social media, or because they are afraid of some persons that have so much power in the military way. That could be the policeman, and they are afraid of that. Obviously, there are people also know like that kind of high high rank master of being a invincible person. That's a fake thing. So obviously, with these aspects, I think that in our country there are no completely safeguard our rights, and this is the reality of our country. So now with the third questions, our teacher asked us if I think, in my personal opinion, if the institutions that are in our country like CNDH are enough to safeguard our rights. So in my opinion, I think that no. I feel that it's too little for the amount of people that are living in our country. We're a country with a big amount of population. Our capital is amazing with the quantity of population. We're one of the most populated cities on the world and also in our continent. So I think that it's too little for CNDH to can work with this. Uh, Also with this, bring some consequences to the CNDH, like is get stressed with their jobs or the cases, or don't do their job in which of these cases, and maybe this is the reason why people can fight for his rights or cannot exercise his supposed right. So I think that there should be other institutions that can help the CNDH. That could be like relationated, not be like a competition. No, it's like a teamwork, but in different aspects, just to be focused completely in the people that need us for our help. I think that, and also, as I already mentioned, to have a better control, and also the cases in our country could be like more fixed and in order. So now with the fourth question, our teacher asked us, I think that our human rights is okay that be in the constitution, Mexican constitution, or should be a specific law. And maybe the specific law could be a different point of view. Maybe some people would like it or no, but in my opinion, I think that it has two sides, the bad and the good, because if we change our human rights to a specific law, I think that there would be not much like respect like is in our constitution right now or our human rights. So I think that it's okay that in our constitution, because it's the most important document of our country, and I think that it should stay there. And if we choose that this becomes a specific law, maybe at the beginning the decision will be respected, but as time goes by time, I think that nobody will remember or they will pay less attention to the law, as we can see with some laws nowadays in our country. And I think that we should stay with the organization that we have today, but increase more like the the visualization of this, and also be more talk with the persons that don't respect this, because also they are humans, and if you want to be respect if you want to have respect, you have to be respectful with other persons. So I think that we should change that. And finally, the fifth question is about what has been the most memorable moment, or what I liked and learned the most in this midterm, second partial. And well, I think that the best thing in this second partial was about the perspective of the good and the bad, and also how the system has changed, and that before it was more rigid as it is today. I don't think that it was so bad, but with that and also the examples that we saw in class, it was more like understandable, and obviously we can see the other perspective of how is the law in our country, the bad side and the reality of our country. So I think that are examples that how in the past the prisoners were like slaves in that case, or how today the prisoners are not like but has like bad treatments as before. I think that in there are some many human rights including there in their lives, but I think that that change was so radical, and also the most thing that I impressed from the second partial. Well, these are my answers to the second partial work. Thank you very much and goodbye.